A typical over-the-counter microwave oven contains the following parts. Their average worth on eBay after shipping is as follows: magnetron $15, transformer $10, capacitor $5, control board $25. Some boards are worth substantially more, thermal switch $12. There are typically 2 or 3 of these tiny things per oven and they sell exceptionally quick. Lamp socks $2.50, usually one on countertop models, more on over-the-counter. Turntable motor $10, wave stirrer motor $10, only on over-the-counter models. Door interlock assembly $15. This can also be broken down for its individual switches, which are the same on all modern microwaves. Magnetron cooling fan motor $4, vent motor $10, only on over-the-counter models. Your average meth head sells microwaves to scrapyard for $5 to $8 a piece. They have no problem obtaining them, though I've never been brave enough to ask how. It typically takes around 20 to 30 minutes to fully disassemble a microwave oven for all its marketable parts if you have the right tools and experience. Microwaves are all pretty similar inside, so it's easy enough eventually to get it down. What I'm saying is you should post an ad on Craigslist for scrap metal. When the meth heads show up, give them the metal and let them know that you buy microwave ovens for $10 a piece, working or not. Then you should disassemble dozens per week and list the parts on eBay and have the scrappers pick up the empty shells to take to the scrapyard, or just do it yourself if you're able. The 75 IQ folks will try and crack open the transformers for the copper and throw everything else out, but you're better than that. Do this and you never have to leave the house again or answer to anyone. A nice honest living. I did this for 2 years out of my mom's garage and I made decent money, more than a typical fast food wagey. But it was repetitive and boring, so I ended up dealing in computers instead. Nobody fixes microwaves. The labor cost to install those parts makes it cheaper to buy a new one. Tell that to my nearly 5,000 parcels shipped. People fix things themselves sometimes. It's a valuable life skill. And some people have non-financial reasons to fix their microwaves, such as maintaining a color scheme match in the kitchen, particularly with yellowed plastic, sentimental reasons, or just plain lack of sense. A new microwave is $100, but a new magnetron is about $25, and a new door safety switch, the most common failing component, is $5. How do you learn how to disassemble them? Also, is there any danger involved? Yes, the magnetron and transformer will kill you if you don't discharge the capacitors, which is easier said than done for non-silly heads. Yes, if you disassemble with the power plugged in, you could incredibly fast. Even if it's unplugged, the capacitors could discharge and kill if you're a silly head. Trial and error pretty much. Here's the important stuff. The capacitor can kill you, but it's fairly low risk. The wiring of a microwave should automatically discharge the capacitor through the transformer coil when the oven isn't running. Also, all microwave capacitors made past the 80s will have a bleed resistor embedded inside to discharge them after a few seconds. If both of those fail, you could have a bad time. To mitigate this, I use a lineman's glove and a pair of scissors to short the capacitor. If there's a big spark, I know I just dodged death. Never actually happened, but that's no reason not to be vigilant. Also, many will tell you the magnetron has highly carcinogenic beryllium oxide in the tip. Again, not since the 80s. But even then, as long as you don't drop it and shatter the tip, it's not a risk. How much demand can there possibly be for this junk? You can probably get parts cheaper new from AliExpress these days. Heck, I wanted to get a magnetron for some backyard experiment when I was a kid, until I learned how dangerous capacitors can be. I can't actually remember why I wanted the magnetron though. Nah, OEM parts cost more than the ovens themselves. Radiation gun probably? I built one, big monster one with 4 magnetrons. I used the ovens designed to run on 12 volts for campers and 2 car batteries. It was really heckin' heavy, so I ended up just attaching it to a cart. Great for cooking people's retinas, nuking bees' nests and killing plants. Oh, and don't cut wires if they're attached to parts, buyers hate that. Figure out how to disconnect a spade connector, it's not that hard. Who buys this crap? To do what with it? Fix a microwave? Who does that? Imagine being anywhere near a broken microwave and then fixing it instead of trashing it and purchasing new product. Based. He really do be consuming though. Certain parts of the microwave are useful to hobbyist electronics who want to LARP as super villains, but I guess they probably just get microwaves and harvest the parts themselves. Oh yeah, I've sold certain parts that were in too poor condition to be considered replacement parts in bulk to hobbyists. They love this stuff. At the heart of every good Tesla coil sits a bank of microwave transformers and capacitors humming majestically. Well, the pros use neon sign transformers and the maniacs use the crazy 100 kilovolt transformers from X-ray machines. There's one downside though, it's the roaches. I ended up building a shed for that. Scrappers show up with a pickup truck full of roach-infested microwaves. I have them put them in the shed. Throw a bug bomb in there, problem solved. Another trick is to have an old pickup truck and just take old appliances from off the side of the road. That's where I get them from. Another trick if you live in a rural area is to go out in the woods and find scrap metal deposits where old dumps or factories or logging camps used to be and dig it up and sell it. Being a full-time scavenger is better and more free than being a wagey.